Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. If you want to learn how to fight heart disease and stroke, stay tuned as we talk about the American Heart Association's upcoming Heart Walk, October 19th at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're in the E. Craig Walls Senior School of Business, and we're visiting with the university's president, Dr. Ron Ingle. Dr. Ingle, thanks for being with us.
Welcome to campus.
An incredible occasion this week, obviously focused on the Myrtle Beach Heart Walk.
Yep.
The Waccamaw Division, serving Horry and Georgetown counties, been having the Heart Walk for 10-plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the 11th year.
11th year.
And part of the reason we're here on the campus today is because you're chairing the event.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Ingle? Are you a Carolinian by birth?
Yes, I am. I have to fudge a little bit. Actually, I was born in North Carolina, but shortly after I was born, we moved to South Carolina, and so I consider myself a South Carolinian. I grew up in Moncks Corner, not too far from here.
Not too far from here. Did you go to school in the Grand Strand area?
No, I went to high school at Berkeley High School in Moncks Corner, and then went to college at Wofford College in the upper part of the state. And then left the state and received a PhD from Ohio State University in psychology, and then came back to the University of South Carolina. So I've traveled around a bit, taught in other states, but came back home.
I'm sure the community is excited to have you back. Obviously, we are. The opportunity to get you as the chairman of the Heart Walk this year was a spectacular opportunity. The Heart Association couldn't think of anyone better.
Well, I consider it a privilege for me to do this, because the Heart Association is so important to our community with the work they do, not only the work, the fundraising we do for research, but also the education programs we have in the schools. We have, each year we train about 3,000 people in CPR, so it stretches out into our community.
3,000?
3,000, yeah.
Boy. Speaking of that, obviously a lot of training happening here at Coastal Carolina. Could you tell the viewers a little bit about the university?
Sure, I'd love to. We are very unique in that we were founded in the mid-50s, 1954. There was virtually no higher education experiences, opportunities in this section of South Carolina. A group of local citizens came together and actually, using their own money, founded the institution. So we've come from teaching classes in the Conway High School to this beautiful campus now of 260 acres, 5,400 students. So a lot has happened in a very short period of time.
5,400. Does that cover both undergraduate and graduate programs?
Yes,
okay.
That's total enrollment.
And how long have you been president?
Actually, I've been president since we separated from the University of South Carolina in '93. I was here before as the chief academic officer, but became the first president in 1993.
In the University of South Carolina, obviously many viewers are in North Carolina. Is it pretty regular that a campus breaks off from the university? How does that happen?
No, that doesn't happen very often. It usually happens the other way, that a campus or a college is brought into a system. Very rarely do you see one breaking away, and we're sort of a case study for higher education administration courses around the country. So
and it's obviously worked very well.
It's worked well.
It sure has. Could you tell me a little bit about why you got involved with the American Heart Association?
Yes, because, well, personal experience. I lost my mother to a very severe heart attack some years ago. I think everybody in the viewing audience has been touched in one way or another by heart disease or stroke, and so it is such a devastating illness, but so much work has been done, and primarily by the American Heart Association. So when they call and ask me if I would lend a hand in this, it was very easy to say yes.
Some of those personal experiences sure help make the decision to be involved with the Heart Association easier. But surely to be chair of an event like this, I mean, to try to get how many walkers together and to raise how much money?
Well, we're hoping to have 1,500 walkers, and we hope to raise $125,000. I think we can do it, but yes, I'm involved in it, but the staff, the local staff, and a lot of people here at Coastal, and a lot of people, volunteers out in our community, I mean, those they're the ones that do the work. I chair the meetings, but when it comes down to really doing the work, it's hundreds of volunteers that are going to make this happen.
Absolutely. Do you know how much was raised last year?
I think around 110. So we have an ambitious goal, and these are not easy economic times, but these are the times we really do need to help each other out, and this is the way we can do it.
Mm-hmm. Could you tell the viewers that Coastal Carolina University has a fundraising goal for the walk?
Yes, we do. We're going to try to raise $10,000. Our football team, our new football team, who we'll start football next year, the football team is going to try to raise $7,500. The football team has chosen the Heart Walk as their community event. Our coach requires his players to get involved in the community. So we'll have about 80 football players at the Heart Walk, raising money and meeting their fans.
Speaking of the football team, a lot of viewers may not know that Coastal Carolina even has a football team. Could you talk a little bit about it? I understand you all are in the process of building a new stadium.
We have a team in progress. We won't start playing till next year, but we decided to build for the future. We hired our coaches this year, and they recruited a class. The stadium is under construction now. We'll be ready next year. We'll seat approximately 7,500 fans, and it's going to be built for expansion, and we could have as many as 30,000 to 40,000 fans in years out there as we are successful.
What about if folks within the viewing audience wanted to visit Coastal Carolina, how would they go about getting here? Is it pretty easy to find?
Oh yeah, just depends on where you're coming. On 17, get on 501, and we're right off of 501, about 8 miles from Myrtle Beach, 3 or 4 miles in from Conway. We're actually in the city of Conway. Mm-hmm. And we have, as you turn on University Boulevard, there's a beautiful new building, our Welcome Center. Mm-hmm. All you need to do is walk right in. We have tours of the campus scheduled every day. Mm-hmm. And even if you come in at a time when there's not a tour, we'll find somebody to show you around campus.
That's wonderful. Well, it is a beautiful campus. When I drove on for the first time not long ago, seeing and driving around the campus gave you the feel of just ecstasy.
Well, I like green space. I don't like parking garages. I like trees, and I like red brick, and I like slate roof, so that when an architect, we start designing a building, we tell the architect, you can be very creative inside. It must be red brick with a slate roof, and to fit in with the look of the campus. And we've maintained that look, and as a matter of fact, the football stadium is going to, when you take a look at that, it's going to look pretty much like an academic building.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Dr. Ingle, would you mind staying around with us for a couple more minutes to
I'd
talk
love
a little
to.
more? Okay, great. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Carolina People coming up next. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're in the E. Craig Wall Senior School of Business, and we're visiting with the university's president, Dr. Ron Ingle. Thanks for staying on with us.
Sure.
Dr. Ingle, when we think about the Heart Walk, there's so many activities that go on within the Heart Walk, and so many folks involved on a volunteer level. There's the chairman, yourself. There are team leaders throughout corporations in town. There are schools and other universities, other colleges involved with the fundraising effort. Do you know of any potential goals outside of Coastal Carolina's goal? You spoke a few minutes ago of the $10,000 goal and 100, at least the 75 walkers from the football team. Are you aware of any other goals?
I don't want to start singling people out because I'm going to forget somebody, but I do know that several of the businesses, both large and small, have set some pretty ambitious goals. Our local hospitals are going to be involved, not only part of the health fair, because it's not just a walk, because we'll have exhibits there of wellness activities and healthy lifestyle activities, so that will be part of the Heart Walk too. So if you come down and don't want to walk, you don't even have to walk the entire way. You can just stroll if you'd like, or if you just want to come down to the health fair and participate in that, we'd love to have you down.
The Fall Fitness Festival is
Yes.
so
Yes.
much a part of the Heart Walk,
Yeah.
and for folks to come down who may not have the stamina to actually walk the miles that are required for the walk. Can folks participate? Actually, one thing I was particularly concerned about was wondering if you have a challenge for other colleges or...
Yeah, I'd like to ask all the educational institutions, and we have quite a few here. Obviously, our neighbor across the street, Horry Georgetown Technical College, I hope they will have team. I'm sure they will. And challenge them to raise some money. The local, both school districts, Georgetown and Horry County, I would encourage them to be involved, either students or faculty or staff. Webster University. So,
yes.
I'd like to challenge all the educational institutions to be involved.
We're sure going to make that effort this week to challenge as many schools and other companies in town to match and even hopefully exceed Coastal Carolina's goal. Let's pray so. When we think about, we're on the beautiful campus, Coastal Carolina University here in Conway, are there some activities or major programs that are in effect or going forward in the near future?
Yeah, we're looking at several things. Well, let's talk about the campus itself. Our next priority is a science building, and we think that's going to be about a $35 to $40 million building. And our dream is to build a green building so that the building itself is going to make a statement. We want a sustainable building so that the students will be studying and learning in a building that is part of their educational experience. I'd like for people to come from all over the world to see us reusing everything that is used in the building. So those are our goals and those are our plans for a science building. Hopefully we'll be able to obtain that money in the spring and start construction next summer or next fall. That's pretty ambitious, but we're going to try. We're renovating our library. We desperately need to add on to the library because the library serves not only our students but our entire community, and so we need to address some needs there. We're going to have some outreach programs too. As you probably know, we are partnering with the Children's Museum right there at Broadway at the beach in Myrtle Beach, and we will have a wing there, and that will be our Myrtle Beach campus. We're now negotiating with a 10,000 square foot property down in the Litchfield area to offer courses there. And North Myrtle Beach, you're next. So we'll have our main campus, a Myrtle Beach campus, a North campus, and a South campus so that we can take our programs, especially graduate programs for teachers, MBA programs, and things of that sort. And we're looking at other academic programs to add. We will add a master's degree in environmental, coastal, and wetland studies, and we think that will come online next fall. And we're looking at our own MBA program for the local business people. So, yeah, we've got a lot of plans in store.
You spoke earlier about the university and how it broke off from the University of South Carolina school system. Did that most of the area? Is there a local board that oversees the university? Or
well, it's a statewide board.
Okay.
We have board members that are elected by district from all over the state, elected by the General Assembly, and then some are appointed by the governor. So our board comes from all over the state and serves us well, and most of the board members have been with us since '93, though there has been some change, but most are original board members.
That's very interesting. Since we only have a couple more minutes, I just wanted to see if you could tell the viewers a little bit about something the Heart Association they may not know.
Oh gosh, I think one thing they may not know is the educational programs that we provide for our schools. I mentioned our CPR training, so it goes just beyond the dealing with an illness after that illness happens. We want to do all we can to educate young people and adults as to what can they do with their lifestyle to prevent heart attack and stroke. That's the big thing.
As you pointed out earlier, the Heart Association, unlike so many not-for-profit groups within the Carolinas, within the country, doesn't receive any federal funding.
Nope.
Nor grants, nor is it a United Way recipient.
Everything comes from the generosity of people, such as the people in Horry and Georgetown counties and other counties here. Because there will be Heart Walk programs going throughout your area. So wherever your viewers are, we were talking about the one in Myrtle Beach, but support the one in your community.
That's exactly right. How could viewers get out to volunteer for the Waccamaw Division's Heart Walk, or as you say, whatever Heart Walk?
They could call the Waccamaw Division here, or if they wanted to, they could call my office, and we'll be happy to put them in touch with. So if you want more information on the Heart Walk, call my office, Ron Ingle, 349-2001, and we'll put you in touch with the right person.
That's a wonderful commitment there, Dr. Ingle. 349-2001.
That's correct.
That's wonderful. That's area code 843. Why is the American Heart Association so important? Obviously, we've talked about the commitment of keeping all those funds here, but in actuality, there are so many other things. Have you been affected personally?
Yes, several members of my family have suffered heart attack or stroke. I lost my mother several years ago to a massive heart attack. So just like I think, almost like everybody in your viewing audience has been touched in one way or another by a member of the family or close friend who has experienced heart disease or stroke. So this is something that cuts across all socioeconomic lines, racial, cultural lines. So all of us this is one thing that all of us can identify and join hands to support and improve the lifestyle of everybody who lives in our area.
Very definitely. A man who lost his mother from a massive heart attack, a man who committed to chair the Waccamaw Division's 11th Annual Heart Walk, the president of Coastal Carolina University, 11 years. 11 years the Heart Walk has been going on. Since 1989, heading up the university, now making a commitment to head up the Heart Walk. $125,000 is the goal. We hope to exceed it thoroughly. Dr. Ingle, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're in the E. Craig Wall Senior School of Business, and we're visiting with Rhea LeDane of the cardiac unit at Conway Hospital. Rhea, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about, you personally raised, I believe, upwards of $7,000 for the 10th Annual Waccamaw Division Heart Walk, and I think as a group, the cardiac unit raised upwards of $13,000. How did that happen?
Well, I thought about which is a way that I could raise as much money as I possibly could. And being an avid golfer, I thought running a golf tournament would be a good way to do that. And so I took on the task of doing a golf tournament. Never having done anything like that before, but being an avid golfer, I thought that would be an easy thing to do. And it was very successful. I had a lot of support by merchants who donated, much merchandise for prizes, and golf courses gave golf packages. So we was able to raise $7,000 just by doing a golf tournament and through different sponsors' contributions.
$7,000 in that golf tournament alone?
Well, it was about $5,000 for the actual golf tournament, and then I raised an additional $2,000 by contacting businesses and just going around asking for donations.
If there are viewers within the viewing area that wanted to help out with the Heart Walk and wanted to learn some of what you did to help raise funds last year for the Heart Walk, would you be willing to talk to folks?
Oh, I definitely would, and they can contact me at Cardiac Rehab, which is 347-8153, and we'd be happy to give them all the information they need. Or if they couldn't get hold of me, they could call the American Heart Association.
At 843-626-3939. 3939. It's so amazing to think about one person's commitment, not only to push for that 7,000 goal, but in addition to get folks around you to help raise more than $13,000. Last year alone, the Heart Walk, the Horry-Georgetown County Heart Walk, raised around $110,000. So you achieved a little more than 10% of that fundraising effort last year. That's amazing.
Well, everybody in our department worked very hard. I may have got $7,000, but my director and the other staff members all helped out. So
How impressed were you last year with the community's involvement with helping you raise those kind of funds?
I was very impressed because when I contacted merchants and business people, I got a very positive response. So we got a lot of help from the community.
How about what's going on right now? Are there any groups in particular or any things in particular happening to help you attain the goal you reached last year as well as even surpass it?
Well, we've already raised over $4,000. And the way that we've been doing that, just this last week, we had a mini health fair at the Wellness Center. And we decided, instead of a golf tournament this year, we were going to do for a donation to the American Heart Association, we was giving the people opportunity to win prizes. And that's been very successful. We had a lot of good response from different peoples in the community. They had donated money and prizes. So that was what we're working on now.
Rhea, do you have a personal goal this year?
Well, I would personally like to top what we did last year and still maintain to be number one, because we pride ourselves with being the small cardiac unit with the biggest heart. So we hope to keep that going.
Real quick, we just have a couple of seconds, but I was thinking, particularly with your involvement in the cardiac unit, are there things in particular that you could tell the viewers about trying to make sure that they maintain a healthy heart?
It's very, very important. I think if the general public would educate themselves a little bit more to heart disease, watch their diet, and exercise, we could help eliminate some of the heart problems that are out there right now.
Definitely. Hopefully this year we will see walkers like Rhea LeDane out at the pavilion in Myrtle Beach. Hopefully there'll be many more walkers like Rhea out making the commitment that you made last year and are making this year to a very successful 11th annual Heart Walk. We appreciate your efforts and pray to have even a more spectacular year. Rhea LeDane, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Carolina People. We want to thank Dr. Ron Ingle and all the staff here at Coastal Carolina University for allowing us to visit with volunteers of the American Heart Association focused on the American Heart Walk. Keep the date in mind, October 19, 2002.